All right, guys. Today we're going to start a brand new book. It is one of my favorites to read, you guys. It's called Wonder by R.J. Palacio. And it's about a little boy named Augie who is in the fifth grade. He lives in New York City, and in New York, middle school is fifth grade to ninth grade, which sounds crazy, but junior high in New York City is fifth to ninth. So I want you to keep that in mind as you're reading, that when they say that he's in middle school and he's in the fifth grade, he is in middle school. So today's day one of Wonder. Here on out, my face is going to go away. You need to have your notebook. You need to have this book. If you don't have that, go get something to write with. Get your notebook, get a pencil, get it now. All right. Moving forward. Let's talk about our characters. So Augie has a disability. He was born with some birth defects that are so severe that he has had to have several surgeries. Augie was born with a cleft palate, which means that his mouth wasn't fully formed. Now, sometimes that's just something that's cosmetic, and sometimes it means you can't eat or drink or swallow. Augie's was so severe that he couldn't do any of those things. So that's Augie right up here in the corner. And he has a sister who's in high school. Her name is Via. And we have mom and dad. Now, our story is going to be told from all their perspectives. So some of our chapters might be from Augie's perspective, some might be from Via's, and some might be from Mom's. Some other important characters who are not main characters are going to be some of the kids who are at school. They're going to be named by name, and they're going to come in passing, and you're going to like some of them, and you're not going to like some of them. Some are very nice and are going to be really cool to Augie, and some of them are going to be really not cool to him. Real quick, I want to watch a movie trailer.
My name is Augie Pullman. Next week, I start fifth grade. And since I've never been to real school before, I'm pretty much totally petrified.
I'll see you later. You don't want to walk up with your parents because it's not cool.
But you're cool.
I know I am, but technically most dads aren't. Neither are these helmets. Here, God, please make them be nice thing.
I know I'm not an ordinary 10-year-old kid. I've had 27 surgeries. They told me to breathe, to see, to hear without a hearing aid, but none of them have made me look ordinary.
Incubator, bunch of murders. Oh, and this is an eraser.
You know what an eraser is, right?
Look at his face. Never seen anything that ugly in my life.
If I looked like him, I'd swear. I'd put a hood over my face.
You don't always like it, but I love it. It's my son's face. You are not ugly, Augie.
You just have to say that because you're my mom.
Because I'm your mom, it counts the most. Because I know you the most.
Hi. You don't have to do this. I don't know what you're talking about, Augie. You don't have to pretend as all I'm saying. Augie, okay, I'm really sorry. Why are you sitting here then? Because I want some nice friends for a change. Me too.
Who is it that I aspire to be? That is the question that we should be asking ourselves all the time.
Hey, Jack, come sit here. In a sec. I'd like to be able to control the weather. That would be your superpower? That sounds pretty lame. What would you do? I'd be invisible. You're the toughest kid in that school. Show them. You can't blend in when you were born to stand out. I thought about having plastic surgery. Dude, this is after plastic surgery. It takes a lot of work to look this good.
Oh, so we'll watch that after we're all done reading the book. So real quick, before we start reading, I want you to write down in your notebooks under day one of Wonder, what does it mean to be kind? What does it mean to be kind? What do you think it means to be kind? pause here, and when you're ready to move on, unpause. All right, I'm going to start reading. On page 3 is where we start. And you need to follow along with me. We're going to have these questions. These are going to be the questions you need to answer in your notebook before you're done. Ordinary. I know I'm not ordinary. I'm not an ordinary 10-year-old kid. I mean, sure I do. I do ordinary things. I eat ice cream. I ride my bike. I play ball. I have an Xbox. Stuff like that makes me ordinary, I guess. And I feel ordinary inside. I know ordinary kids don't make other ordinary kids run away screaming in playgrounds. I know ordinary kids don't get stared at wherever they go. I found a magic lamp that I could have one wish. I wish I had a normal face that no one ever noticed at all. I would wish that I would walk down the street without people seeing me and then doing that look away thing. Here's what I think. The only reason I'm not ordinary is that no one else sees me that way. But I'm kind of used to how I look by now. I look how to pretend. I know how to pretend. I don't see the faces people make. We've all gotten pretty good at that sort of thing. Me and Mom and Dad and Via. Actually, I take that back. Via's not so good at it. She can get really annoyed when people do that thing. When she does something rude. Or when they do something rude. Like, for instance, one time in the playground, some older kids made some noises. I don't even know what the noises were exactly because I didn't hear them myself. But Via heard, and she just started yelling at the kids. That's the way she is. I'm not that way. Via doesn't see me as ordinary. She says she does. But if I were ordinary, she wouldn't feel like she needs to protect me as much. And Mom and Dad don't see me as ordinary either. They see me as extraordinary. I think the only person in the world who realizes how ordinary I am is me. My name is August, by the way. I won't even describe what I look like. Whatever you're thinking, it's probably worse. Why I didn't go to school. Next week, I start 5th grade. Since I've never been to a real school before, I'm pretty much totally and completely petrified. People think I haven't been to school because of the way I look, but it's not that. It's because of all the surgeries I've had. 27 since I was born. The bigger ones have happened before I was even 4 years old, so I don't even remember those. But I've had 2 or 3 surgeries every year since then. Some big, some small. And because I'm little for my age, and I've had some other medical mysteries that doctors never really figured out, I used to get sick a lot. That's why my parents decided it was better if I didn't go to school. I'm much stronger now, though. The last surgery I had was 8 months ago, and I probably won't have to have any more for another couple of years. Mom homeschools me. She used to be a children's book illustrator. She draws really great fairies and mermaids. Her boy stuff isn't so hot, though. She once tried to draw me a Darth Vader, but it ended up looking like some weird mushroom-shaped robot. I haven't seen her draw anything in a long time. I think she's too busy taking care of me and Via. I can't say exactly what I wanted to go to school because I wouldn't exactly be true. What I wanted was to go to school, but only if it could be like every other kid going to school. Have lots of friends and hang out after school and stuff like that. I have a few really good friends now. Christopher is my best friend, followed by Zachary and Alex. We've known each other since we were babies. And since we've always known me the way I am, they're used to me. When we were little, we used to have play dates all the time, but then Christopher moved to Bridgeport in Connecticut. That's more than an hour away from where I live here in North River Heights, which is the tip top of Manhattan. And Zachary and Alex started going to school. It's funny, even though Christopher's the one that moved far away, I still see him more than I see Zachary and Alex. They have all these new friends now. If we bump into each other on the street, they're still nice to me, though. They always say hello. I have other friends, too, but not as good as Christopher and Zach and Alex were. For instance, Zach and Alex always invited me to their birthday parties when they were little, but Joel, Eamon, and Gabe never did. Emma invited me once, but I haven't seen her in a long time. And of course, I always go to Christopher's birthday. Maybe I'm making too big of a deal about birthday parties. How I came to life. I like when Mom tells a story because it makes me laugh so much. It's not funny in the way a joke is funny, but when Mom tells it, V and I just start cracking up. So when I was in my mom's stomach, no one had any idea I would come out looking the way I look. Mom had Via 4 years before, and that had been such a walk in the park, Mom's expression, that there was no reason to run it in any special tests. About 2 months before I was born, the doctors realized something was wrong with my face, but they didn't think it was going to be bad. They told Mom and Dad I had a cleft palate and some other stuff going on. They called it small anomalies. There were 2 nurses in the delivery room the night I was born. One was very nice and sweet. The other one, Mom said, did not seem at all nice or sweet. She had very big arms, and here comes the funny part. She kept farting. Like she'd bring in some ice chips and then fart. She'd check Mom's blood pressure and fart. Mom says it was unbelievable because the nurse never even said excuse me. Meanwhile, Mom's regular doctor wasn't even on duty that night, so Mom got stuck with this cranky kid doctor that she and Dad nicknamed Doogie after some old TV show or something. They didn't actually call him that to his face, but Mom says that even though everyone in the room was kind of grumpy, Dad kept making her laugh all night long. When I came out of Mom's stomach, she said the whole room got very quiet. Mom didn't even get a chance to look at me because the nurse immediately rushed me out of the room. Dad was in such a hurry to follow her that he dropped the video camera, which broke into a million pieces. Then Mom got very upset and tried to get out of bed to see where they were going. But the farting nurse kept putting her very big arms on Mom to keep her down on the bed. They were practically fighting because Mom was hysterical and the farting nurse was yelling at her to stay calm. And they both started screaming for the doctor, but guess what? He'd fainted right on the floor. So when the farting nurse saw that he had fainted, she started pushing him with her foot to wake him up, yelling at him the whole time. What kind of doctor are you? What kind of doctor are you? Get up! Get up! All of a sudden, she let out the biggest, loudest, smelliest fart in the history of farts. Mom thinks it was actually the fart that finally woke the doctor up. Anyway, when Mom tells the story, she acts out all the parts, including the farting noises, and it is so, so funny. So I need you guys to make sure you answer all of these questions. What is wrong with Augie? Why doesn't Augie want to go to homeschool? And if you were Augie, why would you want to be homeschooled and why? Make sure you put all your stuff back. And that's all you got for today.